Hello class, while watching this video you will be making test corrections, and your test corrections are actually going to go on your pink sheet instead of on your test. So for question number 1, you had to find the volume of the triangular prism. So your first step to find volume is to find the area of the base. In this case, our base is this triangle. So if we need to find the area of the triangle, we need to do base times height. So 4 times 3, which is 12. And 12 divided by 2, that's going to give us 6. So this 6 represents the area of that triangle. We want to find volume, so we need to take the area of the base, which is 6, and we need to multiply it by the height of the prism, which is the 7 feet. Remember, your height is not part of your base. So then we have 6 times 7. So that's going to give us 42. Now we have feet, and it's going to be cubed. And that would be our answer. Okay, question number 2. The base of a prism is a square with a side that is 4 inches long. The prism has a height of 10 inches. Find the volume of the prism. So for this problem, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to draw the base. So we know the base of this prism is a square. So we're actually talking about a rectangular prism. So we know the base is 4 inches. That's one side. And since it's a square, we know the other side is 4 inches. So if we're trying to find the area of the base first, because our goal is to find volume, we're going to do 4 times 4, because that's our length and our width of our square, which gives us 16. Okay, so next for volume, we have to take the area of the base, which is 16, and then we need to times it by the height. They tell us our height is 10, so 16 times 10, and that's going to give us 160, and that would be inches cubed. And I'm going to circle that, so this would be our correct answer. Again, as you're going along, you also have to mark how many points you missed. So if you see the points are directly underneath where you should have answered the question. Okay, question number 3. So we're finding the volume of a composite figure, meaning we have to find the volume of each figure separately first. So I'm going to look at, let's look at the front rectangular prism. So right here we have the base. I'm going to highlight its length and its width. So the length and the width of that bottom piece is 8 by 6. So we have to find the area of the base. So we have 8 times 6, or 6 times 8, which is 48. That's the area of the bottom rectangle. And then we need to take our 48, we need to multiply it by our height. Well, in this case, our height is 1. Well, 48 times 1. So 48 times 1 is 48. Okay, so 48, and that would be feet cubed. That's going to be the volume of the first rectangular prism. Now the second one I'm going to highlight in, let's highlight in green. And again, we have our base, which is a cross. So our base is a rectangle, so we need our length and our width. So going across this way, we have our length is 8, and our width, while looking up here, is 2 feet. So it's 8 by 2 would be the bottom base. So 8 times 2 is 16. And then when we found our base, we have to multiply it by our height. So then looking at this, I need to see how tall my prism stands. Well, it stands 3 feet tall. So now I'm going to do 16 times 3. Let's see, that's going to give me 48. So the front rectangular prism and the bottom rectangular prism end up having the same volume, okay? But we want to find the total. So we need to add the two 48s together, and then our final answer is 96, and that would be, let's see, feet cubed. Okay, next. Okay, problem number 4. Again, it's a composite figure, and again, we're finding volume. So I'm going to start with the bottom, and I'm going to like right away I'm going to highlight my length and width because that's the base of my rectangular prism, and then my height. So my bottom is 8 times 5, which is 40. And then I have to take 40 and multiply it by my height to find volume. So then 40 times 6 is 240. Okay, next. In a different color now. Again, our triangular prisms are a little more difficult. So our base for triangular prisms are triangles. So I'm going to have to find the area of this triangle first. Well, down here's the base, and my base is 8 centimeters. And the height of my triangle is 4. So we need to know a triangle is really base times height divided by 2. And everything divided by 2. So my base and height is 8 and 4. So I'm going to do 8 times 4. Let's see what that is, 32. And then I still have to divide by 2. So I get 16. So 16 is the area of the triangle. Now the height of my prism is going to be the side that's not part of the triangle. So right over here, if I look below, that's 5 centimeters. So I have to take 16 and I have to multiply that by 5. So 16 times 5, I get 80. So my volume of my triangular prism is 80. The rectangular prism was 240. So I have to take 80 and 240, and I have to add them together. So my final answer right here, this was a 4-point question, should be 320 centimeters cubed. Okay, now moving on, number of triangle surfaces. So I'm going to highlight, let's highlight in pink. I have 1 triangle there, 1 triangle in the back. So I have a total of 2 triangular surfaces. Next, highlight in blue. So now the rectangle. So the rectangles, I have a bottom rectangle. That's 1. This side is 2. This back side is 3. Then I have this big side over here. Use a different color. So I'm already on 3. This side is 4, but remember we have that same side opposite. So back here that would be our 5th side. And then in another color, I'm going to highlight the roof. So then I have the back of my roof over here, which is then 6. And then the front right here, which is 7. So there's a total of 7 rectangles. Okay, next. So problem number 6, we had to find, this is surface area. So let's start at the bottom. So my bottom rectangle right here is 6 by 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. That's the area of the bottom. So now I have 4 sides going around this entire figure. So looking at the sides, let's even just focus on this front, is 6, and then 4 is my height. I have this side over here, which is 6, and 4 is my height. The back side, 6, 4 is my height, and over here, 6, and 4 is my height. So to find the area of those rectangles, it's 6 times 4. We're going to have to finish this up in the next video, which is 24. And then I need to multiply that by the 4 sides that I have.